This is Chris, the Idaho Painter. This is part 2 of our video series, patching patches in sheetrock or drywall and then texturing them. We've gone and done a whole patch across here in video number 1. If you haven't seen that video in the patching process, you can click on the video right here. And in that video, we're using a hot mud to do some large patches on this drywall, and it's left a big, long, smooth line. Now we're going to do this texturing process, and we've got a texture machine right here that we're setting up to do this spray texture with, and this is video number 2, and you can watch this process right now. So in this process, we're just using some dry texture mud right here. And this product right here is a spray texture that we're going to be loading up into our texture gun. We're just mixing it up in a 5. It's just some dry texture, add some water, get it to the proper consistency. If you don't know how to mix up that mud to the proper consistency to run it through a texture machine, that's it's once you've learned it, you've done it quite a few times, it becomes an easy process. But if you haven't done it before, you've got to get the texture right and get the consistency right before you run it through your machine. And we do have a video on that, and you can click on that video right here, and that will show you how to get the proper consistency in your texture. But we're getting it all set up, getting ready to go here to spray this texture. Got our walls all masked off. Got to have drop cloths because you're going to get some kickback and stuff falling down, so you don't want the stuff getting on your carpet or your floor. We put down drop cloths, masking on our ceiling up here too. We don't want to get any of the texture overspray on our ceiling, so we're getting that all ready, and here we go. We've got our drywall mud mixed up here that we're going to be dumping into our texture sprayer, and we're just trying to get it to the consistency we want it before we dump it in there. So we've got our texture sprayer set up right here and got our mud all mixed up to the consistency we want. And these texture sprayers are actually pretty simple to use. I do have a video on actually how to operate the machine specifically with the controls, and we'll go over that in detail. If you want to see that video, you can click on the video right here. We're just going to show you briefly though here some of the functions of this sprayer, and we're just going to show you us spraying this patch right here that we did. And the texture sprayer's got just a couple dials, and it's got a switch right here that we can take and run the gun itself, and we can run the mud, our texture, through the machine and directly right through the gun onto our surface, or you could actually use a hopper that you can put on the gun and actually run your mud right through a hopper so you can have it with you, and that's for doing a little bit smaller repairs. We typically never use the hopper. We're always just loading it right into our machine and using it. So you got that switch to switch it from gun to hopper, and then you've got a flow control to adjust the amount of flow and the material that's actually coming out of the gun, and then we have an airflow that we adjust the air on the gun too. And it's pretty simple to use. Just turn it on. You just play around with those controls to get the proper consistency or the proper texture that you want. And then once you get it that you want, we actually practice spraying it on a board or something, and then we'll begin spraying it on our project. And right here, we're just going to go along and spray an initial texture across our patch that we did, and then we're going to begin, after that's dry, we're going to texture the whole wall. So now we got our machines all ready, all loaded up. There is one thing, actually, we got a tip on here. This machine, you can unscrew these different tips, and there's a multiple set. We got 4 different tips for spraying different textures. This, which is on here, is what we call an orange peel texture. There's tips for shooting acoustics, there's tips for shooting knockdowns, and we're using this light tan one for shooting our orange peel texture. And we got our airflow And we always just turn our material flow, we always just run it at full. We actually never mess with any of those things down there. We just load our material in, turn on the machine, and just dial our airflow up and to the exact airflow we want, and then we begin spraying. It's really simple to use, and this specific machine is extremely simple to use. It's fast to set up. You can get this wall sprayed really quick, and then it's easy to clean up. Everything's just cleaned up with water. That's like freaking bizarre. I'm on the opposite side of the screen. How did that happen? It's like... So we'll be done shortly. Actually, once this thing is dry, we'll be pulling our masking and we'll be letting it dry for a day. Then we're going to come back and actually paint it. And being a new texture, you definitely want to prime it before painting, and then you want to paint it. It's just about dry. We'll be pulling it off, coming back tomorrow to do the painting. So now we're just cleaning our sprayer out. We're just dumping some water in here. We ran all the excess texture out into a clean 5-gallon bucket to be able to reuse it again. And then now we're just dumping some water in there, just switching around, just cleaning it out. It's really simple and easy to clean. Then you just run it through your hose, your clean water through your hose, and you're good to go, and the sprayer's all clean. There you have it. Our texture job is all complete. We're cleaning it up, and we'll be back tomorrow to do the painting. So hopefully you enjoyed this video.